يعطيكم العافية شباب وصبايا. اليوم بدنا نكمل بالسبيس لصف L.s&G.s. وصلنا عند relative position of two straight lines D and D prime. First case, the two straight lines D and D prime are parallel if their direction vectors are parallel, I mean they have same direction or collinear, and we take a point on the first line if this point doesn't belong to the second line, so these two lines are parallel. But if a point on the line D belongs to the second line with the two direction vectors are parallel or collinear, so these two lines are coincide or they are confounded. Example, given the lines D and D prime, the equation of the straight line D is x equals 2t plus 1, y equals minus t plus 3, and z equal t plus 2. Okay, so the direction vector of this line is 2, minus 1, 1. We look on the coefficient of t in x, y, and z. So SD is 2, minus 1, and 1. D prime is a straight line of equation x equals 6k minus 2, y equal minus 3k, and z equal 3k plus 1. S of D prime is 6 minus 3, 3. 6 minus 3 and 3. We remark that these two vectors have a relation. I mean SD prime is equal to 3 times SD. Then the two vectors SD and SD prime have same direction or they are collinear. Okay? Now we have two vectors collinear. So, to know if these lines are coincide, I mean they represent the same line, or they are parallel, we take a point on the first line. Let A be this point. If this point belongs to the second line, so these lines are confounded. They represent the same line. But if this point A belongs to the first but doesn't belong to the second, so these lines are parallel. For t equals 0, we can replace t by 0 in the equation of the line D to obtain a particular point on this line D. We obtain the point A of abscissa 1, 3, 2. I repeat, for t equals 0, x equal 2 times 0 plus 1, it's 1, y equal 0 plus 3, it's 3, and z equal 0 plus 2, it's 2. This point belongs to D, but this point doesn't belong to D prime, so these two lines are parallel. Okay? Second case, the two straight lines D and D prime are orthogonal if their directing vector or direction vector are orthogonal. D and D prime are orthogonal if SD scalar SD prime equals 0. I mean SD is orthogonal to S of D prime. Example, given the two straight lines, D and D prime. The first line has an equation x equals 2m or m plus m minus 5, y equals 2m plus 1, and z equals m. the second line d prime has an equation x equals t plus 1, y equals minus t minus 3, and z equals t plus 5, where m and t are two real parameters. What is the relative position between these straight lines? Or prove that these two lines are orthogonal. To prove that these lines are orthogonal, we can find the direction vector of the first line and the direction vector of the second line, and we find or we calculate their scalar product. If their scalar product equals to 0, so the two lines are perpendicular or they are orthogonal. Okay? S of D is 1, 2, 1, and S of D prime is 1, minus 1, 1. SD, scalar SD prime, we know that the scalar product between two vectors is x prime plus y prime plus z prime. So it's equal to 1 times 1 plus 2 times minus 1 plus 1 times 1. We obtain 1 plus 1 is 2 minus 2, so it's equal to 0. Implies SD is orthogonal to SD prime, then the two straight lines D and D prime are orthogonal. Okay شباب؟ هلا وصلنا على third case. If we have two intersecting lines. Two intersecting lines. So if the direction vector of the two straight lines, يعني SD and SD prime, are not collinear, I mean they don't have the same direction, so we have two possibilities. The first one, D and D prime, are intersecting lines, or the second one is the two straight lines are not coplanar. What the meaning of not coplanar? They are not including in the same plane. يعني هيك بيكون شكلهم مثل صبيعي. اوكي شباب؟ فإذا نحن حناخد example. Given the line D of equation x equals 2m plus 1, y equals minus m plus 2, and z equals m minus 1. The second line has an equation x equals minus t plus 3, y equals t, and z equals 2t minus 5. The question is, calculate the coordinates of point I intersection of the two straight lines D and D prime. Okay? To find or calculate the coordinates of point I intersection of the two straight lines D and D prime. So we have to take x equals x, y equals y, and z equals z, and you have to solve the system. X equals x, y equals y, and z equals z. So we obtain 2m plus 1 equals minus t plus 3, y equals y, sorry. So it's minus m plus 2 equals t, and finally m minus 1 equals 2t minus 5. We have a system containing two unknowns, but we have three equations. حاول نظبط ال 3 equations شوي. يعني أنا بجيب ال m وال t بما إنه هن ال unknowns, and our problem to find m or t. So we obtain 2m plus t minus t جبتها لهون صارت plus t. 3 minus 1 it's 2. Using the second equation we obtain minus m minus t, it's equal to minus 2. And the third equation, m minus 1 equal 2t minus 5. So m minus 2t equals minus 5 plus 1, it's minus 4. We can use the two first equations and we find the value of m and t. Okay? Using the two first equation, 2m plus t equals 2 minus m minus t equals minus 2. We multiply, or معنا حاجة إن احنا نعمل multiplication كانت هي easy. We add these two equations. إن احنا عم نحل system بشكل طبيعي. اللي بدكم إياه فيكم أنتم ما تحلوا هيك، دخلوه على الكالكوليتر، مش مشكلة أبدا. Okay? By adding these two equations, we obtain 2m minus m, it's m, equals 2 minus 2, it's 0. Okay? M equal 0. If we replace m by 0 in any equation, فرضا خلينا نشتغلها بالثالثة أو بالثانية، سوري، خلينا بالثانية. 0 minus t equals minus 2, so t equals 2. Now we have the values of m and t. ايه شباب، نحن كنا عم نقول بدنا نعمل solve لها system. عنا 3 equations مثل ما نكون شايفين أنا رتبتهم. هلا أخذت أول 2 equations and we solve the system. We obtain m equals 0 and t equals 2. Okay? هلا we replace the value of m and t in the third equation. If we obtain a true answer, so these two lines are intersecting. يعني بيكون شكلهم هيك. But if we replace m and t by their values in the third equation and we obtain a false answer, incorrect answer, so the two straight lines are not including in the same plane. They are not coplanar. They form a skew. Okay? فإذا هون نحن by simple replacing we obtain minus 4 equals minus 4, so true. Then the two straight line, the two lines are intersecting. How can we find the coordinates of the point I, the intersection of these two lines? By replacing m by 0 in the first line, or we replace t by 2 in the second line. فإذا for m equals 0, we replace m by 0 in the first line. We obtain x equals 1, y equals 2, and z equals minus 1. فينا احنا نعمل replacement محل ال m equals 0 in the first line، أو فينا نعمل نحن replacement محل ال t equals 2 in the line d prime. So the coordinates of point I are 1, 2, minus 1. وبهالطريقة نحن خلصنا ال intersection between two straight lines d and d prime. هلأ شباب رح ناخد شيء اسمه two straight lines form a skew or they are not coplanar. not coplanar يعني مثل ما قلت مثل هيدول صبيعي. كيف هيك؟ نفس البوزيشن تبعيتهم. هول بيسموهم not coplanar أو skew. رح ناخد نحن رول عليهم. two lines D and D prime are said to be skew if they don't belong to the same plane. اوكي شباب؟ طيب هلا نحن ناخذ example. حضركم انا example عندي هون. اوكي فاذا اللاين دي عنده equation x equals 2 lambda plus 1 y equals 2 lambda plus 2 and z equals 3 lambda. D prime has an equation x equals 2t, y equals t, and z equals 2t plus 2. شباب هون فينا نحن نعمل نفس الميثود إن ناخد x equals x, y equals y, z equals z. So we obtain a system containing two unknown m and t and we have three equations. بنحاول نجيب ال m وال t بأول two first equations. We obtain m and t أو بتطلع impossible. فرضا نحن وصلنا ل values لل m وال t. We replace these values in the third equation and we obtain an incorrect answer. So the two straight lines are not intersecting, they form a skew. اوكي بس في ميثود شوي اهين يعني وانا I think انه انتم رح تحبوها هيدي اكثر. هي عن طريق determinant. We take a point on the first line. For example, let A be a point on the line D. For lambda equals 0, we obtain A of abscissa 1, ordinate 2, and Z of A equals 0. It's a point belongs to the straight line D, and we can take a point B belongs to the second line D prime. For t equals 0 كمان فينا ناخد مش ضروري انه for t equals 0 for lambda equals 0 بس هن لانهم so easy. For t equals 0 B has an abscissa 0, y 0, and z equals 2. We calculate the coordinates of the vector AB. xb minus xa, it's minus 1. مثل ما نكون شايفين 0 minus 1, it's minus 1. 0 minus 2, it's minus 2. وبالنهاية عنا 2 minus 0, it's 2. وبنروح بنجيب ال coordinates of the direction vector of SD. It's 2, 2, 3, coefficient of lambda. 2, 2, 3. And S of D prime. ال S of D prime شكله 2, 1, 2. اوكي يا ودم. فإذا نحن نعمل ال determinant of the three vectors AB, SD, and SD prime. Okay? If this determinant equal to 0, so the three vectors are contained in the same plane. If this determinant is different than 0, they are not coplanar. Determinant equal, the coordinate of the first vector is minus 1, minus 2, and 2. SD 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. طبعا منوزع plus, minus, plus. It's equal to minus 1. تعرفوا هون using the gamma rule. Minus 1 into 2 times 2, it's 4. Minus 3 times 1, it's a 3. Minus minus 2, it's a plus 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 6. And finally, plus 2 into 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 4. هنشوف الانسر شو رح يطلع. Minus 1 times 4 minus 3, it's minus 1. Plus 2 times 4 minus 6, it's minus 2 times 2, it's minus 4. 2 minus 4, it's minus 2 times 2, it's minus 4. So we obtain minus 9. Minus 9, it's different than 0, so D and D prime are skew. يعطيكم العافية يا شباب، وإن شاء الله تكونوا عم تستفادوا من هالفيديوز اللي عم نازلهم على اليوتيوب، وأني question مثل ما اتفقنا نحكيهم على الجروب على الواتساب. موفقين إن شاء الله.